Welcome to my third video of the series. On the first video, we talked about how you should learn UX design, and in part 2, we saw how to make a list if you want to be a freelancer. Since this is a series video, make sure you have watched my last 2 videos. Without further ado, let's get started. In our previous video, we created a study plan through Notion. Here we created the projects and then sprint and task. So in the project, we have categorized 2 projects. One is UX design and another one is UI design. Under this task, we created a list and try to connect with each individual project. And in the sprint, we divide it into multiple sprints. For those who don't understand sprint, for now, let's just try to understand that each sprint is like your 1 week. The second sprint is your second week, third week, fourth week. This is how we divide it into multiple sprint. And then what we have done here is each individual task list we just hooked up with each individual sprint. Let's say you created the sprint, but once you try to click here, you cannot change the date. And the reason is in the Notion, let's say you click the row and then you have to select the date and then you can change the duration. And for each individual sprint, you have to do the similar way to change the sprint status. For example, if you started the new week, let's say this is your new week, that means this one is not your current sprint anymore. So we are going to make it past, and then this one is your current sprint. So we will change it to current sprint. The reason we are doing it is every week, first day or every day whenever you are going to study or when you are going to learn UI UX design, you go to this sprint board. As you can see, this one is only showing you the current sprint. Anything that you are changing here, this sprint board will show you. So how you should start or use this sprint method to learn UI UX design. Imagine that you have targeted that I'm going to learn UI UX design for within next 6 months. Now most of us, the problem is they will start learning with full of energy, but they stop in the middle or they don't understand that what next. But if you have a proper plan and if you are on track with your study, you will never lose the energy that you have in the first. So that's why we are creating the sprint. The method we are following here right now is we are going through the marketplaces, or we will be going through the job marketplaces and collect what we need to learn and then make a list. And then you categorize all the list you have collected from the job marketplaces and categorize into UI UX design. And then you will connect it with each individual sprint. So I'm going to create the new list right now from the job board. The last time we created from the marketplace, we don't need that right now. So let's remove that. Let's just make a dummy one and then remove this one. Create a dummy one and then remove all of this one. Let's remove this and then this. So from here, we are going to jump into job board and try to collect what we need to learn. So for this video, I'm going to use LinkedIn as an example, but if you have any other preference, you can use that too. So let's go to the job board. And for me, it's Canada. You can change your region as per your location. So let's search UX designer. And then I'm going to filter with entry level and internship, and then try to see the available job. So at first you can see this one is showing me lead experience design, which is definitely not our cup of tea right now. But as you can see, this is promoted, so we can skip that for now. So let's say this one is for the UX design. We will only be focusing on the responsibility they have. As you can see, this one is saying you have to create wireframe. So I'm going to copy paste this one. And then you have to learn about prototype, user flow. We have to learn about sitemaps. There is nothing specific for pixel perfect visual design, but I'm creating a list so that we are going to learn from different blog about what they mean about pixel perfect visual design. Definitely we need to learn about Figma apps. I'm going to put it under the UX UI category right now. And then we have quick learner, low fidelity mockups, as you can see. And this is the reason why I wanted to go through the job responsibility even you don't have any idea about UI UX design, because every time you are reading all those responsibility, your brain try to understand that what is needed for the job market. For example, whenever, even if you are not creating any list, you start learning, you may not come across this kind of stuff. For example, actively receiving feedback from a stakeholder. So this kind of thing is actually important, at least for now, to read. I'm going to select this keyword as well. Define and deliver design component. So we need to learn what is design component. And then we have UX research team. We can see a great example of why I wanted you to create a list all by yourself. If you see, I'm right now based in Canada, and that's why accessibility is very important in this region, and that's why I need to learn this. If you are from a different region or different country, maybe in your country there are something that is very specific to your country and that you need to know. So if you go through each individual job list, you would see something very unique to your country, and that's really important. So I'm going to copy paste this one. Let's try to see from another one. Let's say this one. What are the requirements? Human-centered design practices. And then passionate about new technology, a strong desire, proven experience of planning and executing research activities. Proficient in design and prototype. We already collected the prototype. As you can see, this is repeatedly the same stuff that we have listed from our earlier job post. Once you collected the items you want to learn from the job board, the next thing we will be doing is, let's go to ChatGPT and then type I am about to learn UI UX design. I have collected list of things that I need to learn from job board. I want you to categorize this in UI UX design. After making this category, also suggest me what else I need to learn to land my first job. We are trying to tell ChatGPT what our intention and then what we have done so far, and ask him to give us suggestion. So we are also going to provide the list that we have created. So we will copy all the things that we have listed here and then shift enter and make a couple of lines and then paste it here. And let's hit enter and see. As you can see, it's listing down based on our list and categorized into two categories. So from here, let's reorganize our list. Till now, we have collected things that we need to learn from job board. Next, we reviewed from ChatGPT and also got some new items. And the third step should be read some blogs to see if your list match with what industrial experts suggesting. So let's go to Google and type UI UX design step by step and open a couple of them and try to review our list. And as you can see, they are also suggesting the one we have done so far. This blog is suggesting to understand what UX process is. So we are going to also list down design think process. So as you can see, this is suggesting us to wireframe. We already put the wireframe here. Prototyping, we also already added prototype. So once you visit couple of blogs and update the list, this is how it should look like. So the next step is to assign each of these tasks into a sprint. For example, in sprint 1 or first week, we will be learning only about color theory. We will be watching videos, reading blogs, or anything we are collecting. If it is something that is important for us, let's take a note. Or any bookmarks that we want to read in future, like we can add it here as well. So the next step is to assign each of these tasks into sprint. For example, sprint 1 or first week, we will be learning only about color theory. We will be watching videos, reading blogs, or anything that is related to this task. If we do that, we will have a track that we have learned and what next. This is the way you can keep yourself on track. So let's go ahead and assign that one by one. So I have created till sprint 7, and that's why the list doesn't show more than that. But anytime if you want to create more, you can go and click on new sprint and then give it a name, sprint 8, and then select that row and give it a date. So each of this sprint will be tied up with this one. So once you have tied up all of this sprint, just go to that sprint and then select which is your current date. Let's say today is 1st September, then select this one and select current. As you can see, this one is already selected as a current, so that's why it's showing me disable. So let's say you already set up all of your tasks with sprint and your sprint is fully set up with the date. So you can go to this sprint board and see your current task. Now everything is backlog. Why it is in backlog? Because I haven't assigned all of these tasks into a sprint, so that's why. But as you can see, the sprint 1 is showing me the color theory as my first learning session. So every day when you start your day, you can come to this sprint board and you know that what is your current sprint and start learning on that topic. Alright, that's all for this video. I admit the process I'm showing you is hard. You can simply jump to any channel or paid courses and start learning. But if you have this kind of study plan, I can guarantee you your foundation will be solid and you will never go off track. And that's how I've been doing for last 10 years. Have a study plan like this, make notes what you are learning and be consistent what you are learning. I'll see you in next video.